basically tried and tried so much. I find out that none of us is actually using the link I shared. So definitely we cannot make this a live session. This is supposed to be a live session. I wanted it to be interactive, but it's, I don't know why none of us is actually making use of the link I'm sharing. I shared the link on my post on Facebook. I shared it on my on YouTube as well. We definitely have to do this because I've actually promised that I was going to teach us this. That's the major reason I am coming back and coming back. I've done the live session twice, and I find that a lot of us are not joining. Probably, I don't know what is really happening though. I shared the link for us to be able to join, but I don't know why we could not join. And let's just go right into it. I'm just going to show us briefly how to create the pattern. Majorly, that's what I'm going to be doing. I intended that I was going to actually start from beginning to the end, but I'm not sure that's going to be visible here, except we are now ready to make use of the link to be able to join me on the live session. Because but as soon as I share the link, if you go to my Facebook, it's right there. It's right there. So please, I don't know why we couldn't use it. So basically, as you can see, the style actually has, it looks like a V shape. You understand? We are cutting like it's actually for women majorly. So what I'm going to be doing is, first of all, I want us to learn to analyze the width of our pattern. That's one of the most important thing. Learn to actually analyze the width. If you can analyze the width, then it's going to be very easy for you to be able to create such kind of a pattern. If you look at it, it looks like V. Yes, that's what it looks like. Let me show also what it looks like. It looks like this. It looks like something like actually this. And I believe so strongly that the most important thing is for us to be able to interpret the width that a pattern has. That's what makes it easy for you to actually create a pattern. So for this pattern design, we're going to be making use of 3 centimeter, about 3.5 centimeter and 2 centimeter, because it's not totally the same size. It looks like an A shape, so it means that we're going to be using 3.5 on one side, 3.5 on one side, 3.5. So let's say I'm also having 3.5 right here. So I'm going to join it together. So I just want to believe that that's the length I need. Although you can definitely check what length you need, which is supposed to be, like, you're just going to check like this, like you're starting from here and you're going this way. So you just check this particular length. That's what you need. So you can decide to pick like 11 or 12. So it means we're going to be making use of a length of about 12 centimeter. Let's see what this is. This is about 15 centimeter. So let's just go ahead and use our 15 centimeter that way. So this is 15. Let me adjust this height. I want us to be able to see what I'm actually doing. So I want you to see it properly. So with what we have here, this is actually 15 against 12. So what I'm going to be doing to this particular part is I am going to be making this 2 centimeter. I'm going to be making this part. I want us to see this. That's why I'm trying to change the position. So this part, I want it to be 3.5 instead of 3. That's what it's going to be, 3.5 instead of 3. I mean 2 centimeter rather. I want it to be 2 centimeter. I want this to be 2. So what do I do to make it 2? I'm going to go ahead and The middle is supposed to be about 1.75. This is 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. This is the middle. So locating the middle, I'm going to reduce this one to 1 to 2 centimeters on this side. So I'm going to, you can see I've reduced this. Now this middle alone is just 2 centimeters. So I'm going to fly it towards this one this way. From this edge, it will come here. From this edge, this will come here. So at the end of the day, I'm going to be having, you see that it's looking like an A shape. So let me trim it up just for us to be able to see this. So please don't disturb my video. Hey, like you can't hear me, right? So you can see what I have. Like I said, this is supposed to be a live session with us, but no one is using the link. And then since I promised to show us this, I've decided that nothing will be able to stop it. So maybe subsequently I'll have to educate us on how to join me on my live session so that we don't have this kind of issue that happened again. You understand? So with what I have here, I'm just going to duplicate it. I'm going to duplicate it. If you are actually on this live session with me, please share this video. Share it because I might end up unlisting it and it may not be available for everyone to see. So please just share it. Oh, you're welcome, Mr. Matthew. So please share this video. Please share it so that you can still have access to it after the live session. It might not be available after the live session, so please share it so that you can have access to the link. If you have the link, you will be able to still watch the video. So please make sure that I might have to unlist it for a while. So you can see what I have right now. So I have 2 of these. I have 2 of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it on top of themselves this way. Now when you are placing it, you really need to be very careful because you don't want it to be too wide. So you don't want it to be too wide, so you need it to be open a bit. So overlap it a bit like this at this point. The design is really very beautiful. And another thing you can actually, that can help you to know how to overlap it here, is to try to measure. Just try to measure 3 centimeters. You understand? Make it 3, no matter how much you overlap it, ensure that you have 3 centimeters right here. Okay, so with this one now we have about 3 centimeters. So I'm just going to try to hold it down there. You can see what I have here. So I'm going to use my contact cement adhesive to hold this together. You can see what it looks like. So by the time you hold this together, let me try to place this down and put the gum. So just have that way and then come back and place it this way. So we're going to just allow it to dry. So we can see what we have right here. So I'm just going to hold it down. please don't forget to make sure you share this video. Share it with yourself so that you can have the link. You can come back and watch. I might have to actually make it an unlisted video, and it will not be available for others, so maybe it's going to be available probably later, but please just make sure that you do that. So with what I have here right now, my design is actually ready. The only thing I still need to do is I'm going to make this side straight. I'm going to make it straight where I have 3 centimeter. So this is actually 3. So you can see what it looks like. So I'm going to be cutting 2 of these to overlap it. So one is going to be here. It's going to be like this. And you can even use this to actually position it as well. You can use your feet. If you don't have a shoe last yet, you can definitely use your feet. Just position it the way you want it to be. So if I have 2 of this, which means I can interlock them this way. Now, it's just like I duplicated this one. That's what it means. You understand? You have this, just make 2 of these, and then you go ahead and keep it right here. Let me overlap it for us to see. So this is what you're going to be having. Okay, this has not properly stayed together here, so we need to make sure it stays. So let's ensure it stays. That's important. Okay, I think it's staying now. So we are just going to go ahead and interlock. So sorry we couldn't have our live session like I planned. No one is using the link. That was what happened. So I have to be very careful with this one because I still want to ensure that it's. Please don't forget, like I said, you can use this to actually know where out, overlap it here. Don't forget that. So let's say I've duplicated this and I place them together like this. See what I'm going to be having. This style is so lovely. This is simply how to create this design. This is simply how to create it. So the only thing you need to next is just to go ahead and that one that you created, ensure that you check it on the 2 sides. Like I said, duplicate it, check it if it's going to be enough on this side. Also come to the other side and check if it's going to be enough too. You understand? By the time you interlock it, if it's going to be enough, then you are good to go. So go ahead and get your leather and draw it on your leather. You understand? Draw it. You understand? You can see that what I did, I do this way, I do this way. This was what I actually. So mine was like this. I draw it this way. I also draw it this way. I'm sure you can see what I have. Now when you draw this way, don't cut it out. Also the lining you want to use, so many people have asked me about lining. Please, you can actually use the same material. This same leather is actually, you can see, it's actually a synthetic leather. It has a glossy look. You understand? You can use this same leather to actually as lining. What lining does is just reinforces it and makes it, have more strength and stamina for the feet to be able to sustain it. So I'm going to be using this particular one as my lining. Now it's also a kind of leather but softer than this particular one. I'm using this leather is quite thick, while this is actually quite soft. You can see how soft it is. You can see how thick this is. So I'm going to apply my contact cement and adhesive on both of them. As you can see, I've not cut it. So please ensure that when you want to do this kind of project, there is no stitching, except you want to stitch. Since you are not stitching it, just leave it this way. Apply your contact cement adhesive on it. I would like to first of all apply on my leather, on the main leather. So apply gently. So you can see the way I'm actually applying it all around it before I cut. This is what I do anytime I don't want to stitch and I want to create a simple design such as what I have right here. So I'm going to also do that to this. So I love to draw on my lining as well because I don't want to waste my gum. You understand? For me, if you don't draw, you just decide to apply gum all around, it will be wasting the bulk of the gum. You can imagine me trying to apply the contact cement adhesive all around this particular space. For what? So I'm going to return my... So I'm going to allow this to definitely dry. I will allow it to dry. Sorry for that. So just keep this aside and allow it to just, dry. While you are doing that, I want to believe that this one can be trimmed by now. So you can go ahead and just trim this. Now, so many times we ask ourselves, how do I hold my scissors? I've had people ask me such questions. How do I hold my scissors? Now, the truth is that when it comes to cutting, you have to learn it. But as you continue to cut, it gets more perfect. But the simple thing I can suggest you do whenever you want to actually cut is, when you are holding your scissors, don't cut this way. Don't cut and keep opening the scissors. No. If you cut like that, it will never be straight. So cut it this way. As long as it is attached to it, when you want to open it, push it forward. Can you see that I'm not removing it from that particular point? Just follow the line you are using to trim. So I've removed it. Come to the other side. Just move on it. You see that I'm not opening it the way, but most people, most times when you want to cut and you're not following it that way, it's going to end up, I don't know why you guys don't want me to enjoy my video this afternoon. Sorry, in case you are hearing plenty noise. That is what happens when you are working when they are on holiday. So you can see how smooth it looks like. So it's not like there's anything attached to it. Just make sure that when you are cutting, you don't remove the scissors. You can see I'm not removing it. I made sure that it's still on it. That is the trick that has worked for me. I don't know about other people, but this has worked for me perfectly well. But at the same time, the more you cut, the better you become. If you are just joining me, sorry we could not go ahead with our live session. No one is using the link I shared, and I didn't want to be keeping those who were live with me. I didn't want to keep them. So I didn't want to keep them here. That's why I had to stop the session. So you guys should stop that your play. So just please just learn that art of not removing it. Most times we cut and remove. I will show us what I mean again so that you understand what I'm saying. So we have that ready. Now let me show us what I mean again. When you cut like this, it will be picking another point each time you cut like that. But if you cut it like this, following the line, you can see I did not open it. I just press it on top of it. I did not open the scissors. I just open it along that same joint. It will cut. So please try and use that particular method each time you want to trim. You can start with a carton and see what the result will be. So from what I have here, let me check which one is which. Let me check this. Okay, so I'm going to try to position it on top of it right now. So you can see this. You can see what I have right here. Please, if you have any question, go ahead and ask and let me answer your question, please. Please let me know if you have any question. Please just go ahead and answer. I will answer you definitely, so please ask. So this is how we are going to go about this. Don't worry, like I said, I'm going to definitely teach us how you can join me live. Today's own was just, everybody was just looking at me. Nobody was using the link. You understand? So please, just bear with me. So just bear with me today. Just bear with me. So okay, for the number, okay, for the time frame for you to be able to know when to add it. Now I have found out that every contact cement adhesive has different drying time. They have different drying times. Some dry at about 10 minutes, some at 8 minutes, some they dry up. You have to stay for like 15 minutes for you to ensure it's dry, because by the time you touch it and it's no more, you can't see the texture on your hand, then at that point it becomes tacky. So you can see it will, it will be sticking to your you can't find the gum on your finger, and then you can go ahead and actually place the two of them, bond them together. Aside that, just make sure that if it's the kind of gum, the name, you can read the instruction on the container. And if all you just did was just buy but you don't understand, I'm going to suggest you just touch. When you touch and you can't find the gum on your hand, they are dry enough. Even when you touch it, you find out that okay, this is no more wet. You understand? So 10, 15, it depends on the contact cement adhesive. Basically that's what I would say. It depends on it. So take your time to press this. So we're going to go ahead and trim. Now when you are trimming, if you don't want the leather under to be showing, I mean this one at the back, if you don't want it to be showing, you have to learn to slant your scissors. If you keep it upright, of course it's possible for you to keep upright and then cut all around like that. You understand? With that one, there are tendencies that when you are holding it, you can still see what you have at the back. But if you really don't want that to be obvious, slant the scissors this way when you are trimming the one under. So when you slant like that, it will be hard for anyone to see the leather that is showing at the back, especially if it's like black and you are using a kind of leather that is not actually black as well, and the edges are not dark. You understand? So We really need to be very careful with that. So you can see what I have right now. You can see what I have right here. So what are we going to do now? We are just going to interlock it. So this is what we're going to be having. And then we are good to go. So I've already wrapped my insole. Of course, I'm going to be using an already made. So I remember somebody was actually asking me, was it yesterday, okay, if I live in an area where there is no power supply, is it possible for me to still do this business? And my answer is yes, because I believe you should not use anything to excuse yourself from doing whatever you choose to do. No excuses. I hate it when you give me excuses. You understand? Because I believe there is a way you can still do it no matter how the circumstances is. So if you bought an already made sew such as this, and then you cut your insole, if you don't know how to create this, please check my YouTube channel. I have them right there. You understand? I have them there. Or you comment under, just check. I know it's there, how to create an insole. You can check. You can just type that on my channel. Now you can see what I have right here. I've wrapped it. I've done all of that. Now I have not at any point in time used my grinding machine, which is what you need electricity for. And then I'm going to be using my sandpaper to roughen this surface. See, there are so many types of sandpaper. Some are very rough. Those ones, get it and use it to roughen the surface. For this one, just make sure you fold properly well and trim it very well. Then you can still use this to roughen the surface so that when you are bottoming, it will be easy. Now somebody is asking, you didn't put insole cardboard? No. Sometimes when I use about 3mm EVA foam, and then I'm using this kind of sole, I do not add an insole cardboard. Some call the insole cardboard fiber, but the truth is that fiber is even different from insole cardboard. But I have found out that they call it fiber. I don't know why, but some places that's what they call it, so that when you want to buy, you are not confused about exactly what you want to buy. Is an insole cardboard. I didn't put it. All those ones are actually to reinforce. It's not all of my projects that I actually had an insole cardboard. Like this, I'm not actually going to be adding. Like I have already wrapped it, as you can see, and it doesn't affect, the durability or the stability of the footwear. It doesn't. It's flat. So if it's a heel, definitely you need an insole cardboard. That one, there is no shortcut to it. So you can see what I have right here. Are you loving the look? So it's actually size 41, and this particular shoe last is actually shoe last for men, and it is size 41. Sometimes you hear, oh, you cannot use men's shoe last for women's shoe last. Well, it's amazing that you can actually do that. Yes, you can actually use it. Some women actually have very wide feet, which makes it easy for you to use men's shoe last for them. And the amazing thing is that you hardly see here in Nigeria, is not like it's not available, but most around what you see is this kind of shoe last are majorly for men. This kind of shoe last majorly what you see around here, like where I am. I'm going to be talking about where I am. I don't know of your side, if you do have shapes such as this that is basically for women. I don't know if you have that, but here I find out that even if it is size 38, it still looks like, like it doesn't have that women shape. This our hack, it doesn't have that beautiful look. You understand? So if you're going to be buying a shoe last, some people will ask me, if I'm going to buy my first shoe last, what size should I buy? I will advise, when you want to buy your first shoe last, if you are considering for women, buy size 38. Yes, buy size 38. Now, the reason I'm saying this is that your size 38 can perfectly work for your size 39. It can work for your size 40 if you know how to use it. And those are the things I try as much as possible to teach in my class. I teach you how. I want you to know that you can experiment all of these things. So apart from actually buying size 38 for women for the first shoe last you are buying, I'm going to suggest that you buy your size. If you are not buying size 38, buy exactly your size. Now use that shoe last to create for yourself and see if it will size you. If it doesn't size you, it means that somebody wearing your size, it might not size them as well. So your experiment began. I cannot begin to explain all of that here so that I will not be keeping us here forever. So, but if you are buying for men, I can say if you buy 42, your 42 can do 41, can do 43, can still do 42. Now, let me give you a shortcut to how you can actually use those sizes. For example, this is size 40. If I want to use it for size 42, for example, I must have experimented with it. Please, there is a place for experiment and research as far as your shoe last is concerned. This shoe last will perfectly work for size 43 and size 42, whereas it was actually size 41 they wrote on it. So it was after my research I find out that it will work for somebody wearing 42 and work for also somebody wearing 43. Like seriously, somebody wearing 44 will wear it if the person has a slim fit, I mean men. So how do you exactly do all of this? Now, this is size 41. Let's say I want to use this particular shoe last for size 42, for example. The suggestion I'm going to give to you is move it forward 1 centimeter forward. Yes, away from the original position. I mean, if it was like this, like I said, please, if you are part of this live session, I will suggest you share this video and keep the link. It might end up not being available on my YouTube channel for a while. So please ensure that you share. When you share it, you have the link. You can always click that link. Share it with yourself. I don't know how you want to do that. If you want to copy the link and keep, please do that. It might not be available, you know. I know all those people who was actually part of the other live session, so I will not mind sharing with them personally. So please, if you are here, please share this video, keep the link so that you can access it after, because I may not leave it there, please. So like I said, if normally you want to place your shoe last, you place it this way. You can see the way it looks like as you can see it's even wider than this because it's for men. So just permit me to use it to explain to you. If you position it this way, now what you do is move it forward like 1 centimeter forward. So when you turn it this way, like you have like is 1 centimeter away from it, and then go ahead and last for size 42. If you are actually this is 40, this is 41, and you want to use it for 40, what you do is move it backward by 1 centimeter and use it to last. It will size the person. These are things I have experimented, but the only thing is that you must have done your research on the shoe last and be sure of the exact size of the shoe last. Of the exact size, you understand? Please, you need to do that. Please do that. If you don't do that, there's no way you'll be able to experiment with what I am talking about and it will work. You understand? So please, I need you to bear that in mind so that somebody will not say this, I should push it and push it. Because the truth is that this particular shoe last, let me show you a particular shoe last. As you can see, they wrote 40 on it. If I use this for men size 40, it will not size them. Most times it doesn't size men that wear 40. After my experiment, I find out that it will work perfectly for somebody wearing 39. Somebody who has a very wide fit and wears 38 as well, it will work for them. So please, this is not something you just want to do in 1 week and get tired. This is a consistent work. Is a consistent work that needs your time, that needs you to be ready to take the necessary decisions. to be able to, increase your knowledge. Please don't limit yourself to say, okay, and this is, I don't have, because I find out that so many people would tell me, these funds, I know it's funds, I know funds can be very, very easy to get by, so to say. Now I have so many videos on my channel, you can come around and check them out. Stop downloading. So many of us download and we never watch. Pick one, and then if you want to download the one top, download and then watch. Don't download like 10 and end up not touching any of them. So let's go right into our positioning before I take us all the way from here. So now for this particular one, now I'm also going to be showing you how you can use your feet for this, because I know some people are already closing up and saying, I beg you, I don't have shoe last, how will I do it? Before you close up on me, relax. Now if you're going to be using your shoe last, this kind of design, now this particular interlock has to be at the center line of your shoe last. That's very important. So I'm going to place it this way and place this way, and then this one will come this way. I just love this design. I don't know, I just love what it looks like. It's so simple to last, and the reason is because it's so simple to last, and the reason is because of the kind of shape that it has. You can see, I know somebody's already asking, so how do I know the position? Let's assume I'm not the owner. How do I know the position? Now you can actually use your hand. I love to use my fingers, and it work. I don't know if you are here and you have tried this finger, that I've taught, and it worked for you. Please let me know in the comment section. Please let me know, has it worked for you before? Have you tried it? Did it work? So for this particular design, if you place your finger like this on the sole, you can decide to use this particular part, this part, and this particular part for it, this place and this place for it. That is where you are going to start. So what you do is just trace this down and mark it here if you want it to pass by the side. So for this particular part, you just try to mark it and mark this particular side if you want it to pass by the side. If you want to punch the inner part, all you need to do is place your hands on it and just mark here and mark here. Make sure that when you want to open this inner part, make sure that from the edge to where you are punching is about 1 centimeter. If you do not do that, at the end of the day, when you cut it open, you will find out that it will be too close to the edge if you don't pay attention to that. So when I mean 1 centimeter, you can see what I have right here. Let it be as much as that. Please, your calibration does not start from this particular edge. Now this is what happened. I'm coming. I'll get back to your question. Now for this particular, this is where it's supposed to start. This is where you are supposed to mark if you are using one, because from this side, from here to here is where we have one. So not here. I've seen some people start using ruler from the edge. No, the calibration start from here. So please, this is where I'm going to be picking if I'm going to be punching inwards. Now somebody is asking me, am I supposed to use left hand or right hand? See, this is my left leg. I am using left hand. If it is your right leg, use your right hand. That's how it's supposed to be. Now look at me putting my right hand on this one. It's not correct. You understand what I'm saying? So the corresponding hand is what should be on top of the insole and not contrary. You understand? So that's just that for that particular one. So now you know what to do if you are going to be using your shoe last. Now if I want to use my feet, I love to use my feet to explain, and the reason is because I don't want you to give excuses. I don't know how to position my leg, that's why I did not do it. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Permit me to just do some adjustments so that we can see. It's not true. So let me adjust it this way so that you can see my foot properly. So now you can see you have my foot right here. Now if you want to, I know some people I've had people ask me questions such as, how do I position my leg? How do I place it? See, do this. Measure from this edge to wherever you want to place your leg. Measure 5 centimeters. Now let me first of all do that so that you can see it. I really need us to see this, and I think this is not it's not cooperating with me. still not cooperating. Please just allow me to adjust this so that we can see what I'm doing. You might be seeing it, but it's telling me that I'm not positioning it well. So just be patient with me. Let me do it. I hope you can see this anyway, because I'm not sure I can see my leg. Okay, so let me just quickly do this. So what are we going to do? We're going to just place right here and then measure 5 centimeters. This is 5. Now please, you can see I didn't use the ruler from the edge. Never use your ruler from the edge. The calibration is there. So you can see this is where I have 5. I'm not going to use my pen because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to write on it. You can see where that is. Now go ahead and place your leg. I can still see it here. So your leg should not exceed that part. Your leg should not exceed that part on the footwear if you are using your leg. And if you are getting me, please let me know. It must not exceed. So whoever you are creating the footwear for, make sure that you measure like that. If it's an adult, measure like that. If it's somebody that has a very wide feet, you can decide to increase it to about 5.5. And don't forget, you must have worked on the insole, or else the insole will be short. You must have added that allowance to the insole if you intend to increase it, to 5.5, or else the person's foot will be showing at the back. You can see what I have right here. So this is where I'll position my feet and then go ahead and arrange it here. So the arrangement, one of the most important thing here is your smallest toe. You can't position it in such a way that your smallest toe will be fighting and be coming outside. No. So you have to make sure that it covers your smallest toe. And then with that, it's a kind of design that even arranges itself. Okay, no. It's supposed to be this way. Because this side are longer, this one is short. That's what make me know it's not supposed to be like that. So you can see what it looks like. So you can see what it looks like. Can you see what it looks like? Please let me know. Can you see what it looks like? Can you see what it looks like? So definitely don't forget that this has to be at the center line, and it is quite perfectly okay here. Now you can see what this looks like. So the person's foot thumb, the biggest toe, won't be coming out definitely, and you are good to go with the design. With this now, what you need to do, if you want to use the foot, the first thing you should do is try to hold this down. Hold it down and remove your foot. Hold it. So with that, you can easily mark where you want it to be. Mark, 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 mark. So you apply your contact cement adhesive on the two surfaces and then let it go down right there. So when those ones are in place, you can go ahead and now fix the one at the back. I'm just trying to quickly explain to us. So I'm going to, as long as it's staying perfectly well, I will now use this. And my design is ready. You understand? So with this viewpoint of mine, I believe we should be able to create this. Yeah. I believe we should be able to create this. So who is going to create this and show me? Please let me know if you're going to be creating this and you are going to be showing me after. Yes, you need to do this and show me. So like I said, if it's passing by the side, it's fine. If you want to use the inner part, make sure you just punch like it is like this. You just punch 1 centimeter away, you open, and then go ahead and finish it up. Yeah, so is it not looking beautiful? This is really looking beautiful. Now another thing you should pay attention to is this. Let me remove my foot and show you this part. Make sure that this one does not come out like this and this one is inside. Can you see it? No. So both of them are supposed to be together like this, right? So I want to say thank you. I saw that Mr. Matthew was actually engaging in this live session very well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And please don't forget the instruction I give us. Don't forget. So I believe you should be able to create this. Thank you once again for joining me today, and I still remain your shoemaking mate easy tutor Odurole Mujibola. I am going to definitely see you some other time. I am going to educate us on how to actually go live with me. We have to work on that, because I really need us to come and share your experiences with me on my channel, on whatever you think you want to talk about. I really, really want us to actually do that. So thank you once again. Thank you so much, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye. Davis.